In the James Grider novel I am currently writing, I wrote a warning about how it's wrong to breed with others, and while I point out that it's terrible to do so, it's not that big of a deal. So what I'm suggesting is are free to fuck women of other races, and this won't hurt. But it's too bad they want to do the same, because the cost for a woman is extreme. And I'll let the excerpt from the book explain. James's past lectures of how it's wrong to interbreed with suddenly rounded in on Carmela. Is close to going extinct, apparently, and we can't afford to dilute precious DNA with those of less intelligence, such as. And here she'd just engaged in an oral sex with a guy of a perfect fuck you to her brother. No danger of unwanted breeding from this specific act was involved, though. The presentation here sounds awkward because you don't have the full context of the novel here. You just have a little piece of it. Fuck James, the racist fuck. How dare he preach that after fighting tooth and nail over some ill-conceived belief in his own right to fuck an old woman who was a fucking Latina, over whose brutal death he remains broken up about. For that he had contrived a rationalization from the most depraved annals of his egotism. There is less harm of fucking women of than doing it with men. As a guy, the only loss to him is a load of cum and sperm, something his body can regenerate in, like, a few minutes. Therefore, so what if he squirts some of it into Latina and impregnates her? There's really no cost to him. A day later he can go just as well impregnate a whole bunch of. How is it he could have loved someone whom he can so blithely label as a lesser version of his? Should Carmela then take away that the loss of her must only sadden him, as a small child is saddened when a favorite toy breaks? And that he rages at statutory rape laws only because the government was obstructing her from being his plaything? And yet his love for her had appeared so real. But it's different for James had carried on his twisted logic. If she is knocked up by a she'll be stuck carrying a fetus for 9 months. That means for a whole year she's unavailable to getting pregnant with a child. And then if she's busy raising the baby, she may not have time or resources to also bring a baby into the world. Sexual intercourse with other races is a huge jeopardy for a woman, and that's why should stay away from intercourse and bearing. A man can easily fire off his sperm left and right to improve the with his DNA. The toll of wasting sperm is nothing, but the toll of pregnancy is much too severe to be paid out to an infant. The women of the left only gain by bearing a child. The women of the only lose out by bearing a child. Carmela didn't even bother challenging him on his knavish suggestion that as a father he can just abandon multiple offspring without care, that in his view it's utterly acceptable for a man to be nothing more than an irresponsible sperm donor. What would have been the point? I might fuck a Latina or an Asian, he added, but I'd never other species to me, and they actually are. So there we go. A man's sperm and semen easily and quickly regenerates. So will not be contributing to the extinction of if now and again he travels to foreign lands and fucks some hot women or hot so long as he's not forced to pay for any babies that result, he's golden. But a woman ends up burdened carrying around a baby for 9 months, or some other girl baby. She can't birth any children while she wastes a year on that baby. So no, white aren't allowed to have sex. Haha. Because being pregnant is not the same as losing a load of cum. That's why man can travel to Mexico, go into a hotel room, and have sexy Mexican women line up outside the hotel room door so they can take sperm into their loins. One by one, they have sex with the man in the hotel room and take his sperm into their uteruses. He tells them to line up for his semen because if they have a woman's baby, that child will be more intelligent, more talented, and so all the good-looking Mexican women line up to get fucked by him in hopes of getting a baby. The woman can deposit his sperm and then fly back to his station and be ready just as easily to impregnate women there. But women cannot do this because a pregnancy takes a tremendous toll. A pregnancy with a child takes away time and opportunity for a child to be conceived. So that's the tremendous toll. And unlike the regeneration of some semen, which only takes a few minutes,